Hey, it's Elyse Diane, the animal healer, and in this episode, we're going to be working with Elyse Diane and her 4-month-old Coton puppy, Lucci. Lucci has been acting like a little bit of a terrorist, and my suspicion is that his body's pretty out of alignment. So we're going to do an in-sync body balance to see how Lucci's feeling and if his body is affecting his behavior, and then we're going to work with Elyse on rebalancing her breathing and also teaching her some incredible insights from the dog perspective of what authentic leadership really looks like for it to be most effective. Hopefully, not only to bring about a state of communion and flow so the two of them really have a beautiful relationship, but also to calm Lucci's little butt down. So enjoy the episode. Hey, it's Elyse Diane, the animal healer, and today we are working with Elyse Diane in Florida with her 4-month-old Coton named Lucci. So Elyse, will you share with us what's going on? You got a little puppy.
Yes, we got a little puppy, and he's very different than any other puppy we've ever had. He's a lot more energetic, and he requires a lot more of an energy investment than I remembered or than I've ever had in my past experiences. He is very attached to me, and so even if my husband was in the room and I left the kitchen, because he's now barricaded in the kitchen, he would yelp and bark like a big dog, like, "Get me out of here, I want to be with her." And it's like a temper tantrum. I don't really know how to help him to understand what appropriate behavior is.
Okay.
And I want him to understand that, I'm in charge, not him,
I think that's what we want everybody to understand, right? Like, that's just a puppy. And there's a way that we think about it. Like, of course, this is the way it should be. But then there's also a way we are in our body language.
Yes.
And animals, especially puppies, really tend to deal more with body language, not what we say. So I kind of look at puppies and I'm like, oh, they're the ultimate can't fake it till you make it biofeedback machine, right? They're like,
Yes.
You gotta be it or I'm not gonna do it. But I think positive reinforcement is wonderful. But there are clearly times when, it's like, here's a boundary, knock it off.
Yes.
Like the mama stare. Like,
Yes.
Not kidding. Don't take another step in that direction. That's what animals respect. They don't respect our words as much as they respect the energy that they feel from our bodies and the clarity of, is that a hard boundary? Like, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Or, hey, can I manipulate something in there?
Yes.
Now, the difference with mama dogs and human mamas with dogs, animal mamas don't give a shit. They don't care about insulting their young. They're not correcting the being, they're only correcting the behavior. Human mamas, we get emotional, we care about what somebody else might think, we behave in a way that is really predicated on not being 100% confident in saying what we meant and meaning what we said. We'll feel bad, we'll feel guilty, it's kind of almost like the Jewish mother syndrome.
Yes, and I think that's my issue. It's like, I'm
and
a
it's
facilitator, how is everybody feeling? Let me figure out a way to make it all work. I'm good at that.
Exactly. So then I love that you said that, because he might be bringing you into a place where it's like, may have worked before.
Right.
But that's not what you're learning now. What you're learning now is to be totally okay with what you're asking for, what you need and require in that moment, and receiving it
without feeling guilty or bad or having to go into too much like over caretaking. Oddly, I think he's the perfect dog for you.
I know.
Right?
Yes, exactly. For
Because
this less than 100%, yes.
Yeah, because he's going to push your buttons and he's going to make you learn something in a different way
Right.
that's actually going to be really super beneficial for you, for your life, for your communication skill, all of that. Hi, little cutie.
Oh, say hello, Alicia.
Oh my God, Lucci, you're like a little snowball.
He is like a little snowball.
Oh
Yeah. He weighs all of 7 pounds.
my God. And what's his expected size about?
Probably about 13. I don't
Okay.
think much bigger.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
Little man.
All right. So what we're gonna do now, he can stay right there if that's okay with you, and if he's okay.
Fine. Yeah.
And I'm gonna start right off the bat. The left side of his parietal bone is up and the right side is down.
Wow.
So when he's going to process stuff, he's getting a little stuck, honestly. I literally want to say he's literally getting stuck a little bit in brain chemistry.
Wow.
Yep. So I am like rebalancing that right now.
His body is going like this. Like I'm
Yeah.
touching his head and his body was jerking. Is that from the adjustment?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Hi, little man. It's okay. You're
He's
good.
got hiccups.
Got hiccups.
Oh.
All right, but that's definitely now it's starting to like balance and it's opening way bigger.
Big hiccups.
Okay, this is gonna already start to shift him from being kind of like wild man. Now, not to say he's still not gonna be
Sure, he's
puppy. He's
puppy.
gonna have like zoomies and stuff like that.
Sure.
But this is gonna help him with the part of him that he kind of couldn't help.
Oh.
How extensive he's gone,
Yes.
you know, to an extreme. Okay, good boy, little one. You know, one thing to understand too with our puppies and with our dogs, there are actually times when the body gets out of balance and it runs the energy in a certain way and it trips up chemistry in a way that we get behavior issues or, you know, health issues. Their bodies really can be a massive key.
Okay.
To unlocking the root of certain behavior issues and definitely certain health issues. Okay, so now we're on C1. C1's a tiny bit stuck on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just opening that up for him. There we go. Wow. His whole nervous system is just gently resetting.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good boy. Good boy.
Can you feel that? Because I know you're sensitive to energies too. Can you feel a shift in him?
He feels just relaxed to me on a deeper level.
Okay,
That's
good.
Sense.
So now we're at C4 is okay. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm working on your back, you cutie. Now, Elyse is in Florida. I'm in Colorado. So we're at least 1,500 miles away from each other.
Yep.
This is the first time I know about Lucci, but I've never worked on him before. I've never worked with him before. So this is the first time that we're working together and we're at a distance of about 1,500 miles. T7. T7's definitely tighter on the left, a little bit off balance in towards the spine on the right. Not a huge deal, like easy to release. And I think he just took a deep breath. Right? Yeah, so he's like now, he's getting himself into that spot in his spine to continue opening it up. Is he usually this calm and quiet? Just curious.
Sleeping, no. You know, he has like 2 speeds. So
Okay.
sleeping, we love him the most.
Okay. Now, what's interesting about this is literally from a scientific perspective, every one of these vertebrae hook into an organ and a nerve.
Right.
So different behavior issues literally is why you kind of want to check the body, because they could be out in a certain area. It's disrupting the literal flow of energy that's happening in the body. I'm still on T11. We're still kind of unkinking that. And you can literally correct behaviors at the root by addressing the body.
Right.
Lumbar 1 is kind of rotated a tiny bit left to right. So just rebalancing. Now, here's the thing too, not only does keeping the spinal alignment open and flowing really help with behaviors, but it also really helps with health issues. Because if the spine is open and the energy is flowing, and remember, the spine hooks into nerves, it hooks into organs, and it really allows for a flow for the whole entire system. So little certain things that could be off in the spine could eventually translate to health issues as well.
Yeah.
Another reason why we kind of, we're using it with the intention of, all right, let's see what was out and let's see how it affects his behavior.
Right.
He's a pretty healthy little puppy. But for any animals, like even if they're having health issues, it's super important to get that spinal alignment back open and unrestricted, because it really can massively boost the immune system.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
All right, so lumbar 1's back in place. Lumbar 2, it's a tiny bit higher on the right side than the left, but no biggie. All right, now I'm just going to reset. I'm just going to see his diaphragm is pulled up a little, not much, but I'm just going to reset it to its like original length.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Well, that's in place. Good boy. All right, so he just reset that whole thing. Beautiful. Okay. So I would say he definitely was aware something was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna let him rest, and we're going to actually right now, we're gonna focus on your breathing, the pictures and the signaling that you're sending him, and also your body posture. So let's first and foremost talk about leadership from our side.
Yes.
And what's the actual energetic framework that has to happen in our physical system to help him understand you're completely clear about what you're saying, what you're asking of him, what you're needing. When no is a no, there's no negotiations. Because I think that little guy, he's an emotional terrorist or he's a negotiator. So when his energy goes up, what's gonna have to happen for you is, and this is a beautiful Qigong principle.
Okay.
If his energy goes up and you go with him, both of you are gonna be up here.
Yeah.
But if his energy goes up and you train yourself that your energy drops down and you anchor it, what'll happen is his energy will come down and you guys will meet in the middle. The redirect from that is often just from the breathing, and not kidding, from the eyes. Where have you been breathing from? Have you been breathing more from your chest?
Chest, yeah, it was more in my chest.
All right.
Yeah.
So what that's going to literally signal to him, when we breathe in our chest, it's a little bit more sympathetic in nature.
Yes.
So that's sort of like, all right, we're in a little bit of fear. We're on heightened state of awareness. Where's the tiger gonna jump out of the woods, right? It kind of closes off our vision. It kind of closes us off from the natural energy field of communion that's always in place. So usually what happens too is our bodies actually start anxious because we're either not pulling in enough oxygen or we're not letting out enough carbon dioxide. And it also too, one of the beautiful things too about breathing into our belly, it really starts to connect us into our gut instinct. And when we're coming from responding versus reacting, we're usually pretty good at being in alignment with exactly what needs to happen in that moment. So all we're going to do right now is just start with first, shift your breath. So we're going to breathe in through your nose. We're going to fill up your belly and go up into your ribs and into your chest. And as you exhale, your belly goes towards your low back. Your ribs gently knit together. Your chest softens. Your shoulders relax. Good. Jaws relaxed. Tongue's released to the bottom of your mouth. Beautiful. And I can feel kind of like the tension that was in your shoulders. It's just to melt away. Yeah. So this is literally, I know it's going to sound weird because it's like, what does this have to do with puppy training? And I'm like, actually, it's the foundation of puppy training. Because if you're not calm and relaxed, and that puppy does something to set you off, that puppy is not going to feel like you are the grounded, relaxed parent that can take care of it. And in dog psychology, and just at the basis level of energy, they're in charge or you're in charge, and not as a domination thing, just as a who's going to get food.
Okay.
Who's going to get his food? And if he feels like you're nervous or you're not sure, he's going to push the envelope till you actually get grounded so he doesn't have to be in charge. Because like I said, at 16 weeks, he's not capable of driving the bus.
No.
He might think he is, right? And then that's also too, honestly, where a lot of behavior issues develop. You mentioned it at the beginning, and this is extraordinarily important. Your puppy or your dog may love you, and yet they might not respect you.
Correct.
Now, in the human world, we allow for that. In the animal world, that's not okay. Now, let's take your breathing, and we were filling up your belly, your ribs, and your chest. Now, when you exhale, send your belly towards your low back, your ribs knit together, your chest softens. But on your exhale, send that energy down your legs. Send it down through your feet. Because what's going to happen is when he triggers you, your liver energy is going to get stressed. Because in Chinese medicine, they mapped out the liver is responsible for stress.
Okay.
If you are in your sympathetic breathing, you're going to go right through the roof and you're not going to know what to do.
Okay.
But if he does something and he starts stressing you and you exhale down, make sure that air goes down through your legs, down through your feet, and you get really grounded.
Yes.
And instead of sort of being like a question mark, you're now like the exclamation point of like, watch it, buddy. The boundary's coming up. And if you just look at him without reacting and you just stay there, he will wear himself out trying, no response, trying, no response, trying, no response. Oh, well, all right, you're serious. And he changes his own brain and he changes his own behavior.
Does this work for barking also? Because he started barking and I didn't know what to do with the bark.
Yep. Just ground your energy. Now remember, breathing's one piece, right? That's regulating our nervous system.
Yes,
okay.
Right.
Second piece is always understand animals think in pictures.
Yeah.
Not in words. We learned, to speak words. We forgot that those words are actually connected to pictures. Line up your pictures, your words, and your feelings to really put a clear alignment.
Yeah.
Because now think about asking him to sit. Have a very clear picture of him sitting. And then you can say sit, because you know exactly, because he's sort of looking at you like, are you sure that's what you want? Now, the reason you're not, it's like, it's what you want, but something still, it's like, I'm pretty sure it's what I want. But as soon as that picture clicks into place and you say sit, what you will start to feel in your heart And literally what you will start to feel below your belly button is, yes, I said sit. So that's what we really want to get in the habit of, being so clean and clear. We don't have to take it further.
Yes.
Right? And that's not negative. That's what all of nature actually does.
Okay.
And nature doesn't use treats, and she's much more effective most of the time than we are.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to bring up the third part of this. So we've got the breathing, we got the pictures, now we've got the bubble. We have the capacity for an energy bubble that goes out to certain distances, right? Heart math has kind of alluded to, like, the heart energy field goes out like 6 feet, it can go out 12 feet. For the work that I do, honestly, it could go out anywhere to the planet. So I don't really feel like, well, yeah, I get what you guys are saying about 6 feet and 12 feet, but like, we're 1,500 miles apart.
Yeah, exactly.
And right? So we can extend out. That's just part of our innate, I would call it our inner GPS, right? The things that they can't necessarily measure yet.
Right.
So what I want you to recognize is, if your energy goes up, your bubble is going to shrink. Allows that little one to feel safe inside of. Not like behave, but it's like, I got your back. When they can feel that your bubble is bigger than theirs and they are inside of your bubble, you're gonna have a lot more natural behaviors. Because remember what I said before, like, he's not going to try to dominate you, which people think. He's just going to say, look, you're going to lead or I'm going to lead.
Right.
That's just what I know to do. If I don't feel that you're leading, I'll take the lead, even if I'm 16 weeks old. When he consistently feels like your bubble has him inside of it, feeling safer, and he starts relaxing. This isn't just about training the dog. We're getting trained too, because some of our habits aren't great. We think that they are, but then the dog shows us,
yeah,
you got to work on that a little bit, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
But then we think it's the dog, right? And it's like, no, the dog is actually the teacher to get you back into learning how to flow in that beautiful way. And, you know, even though they're domesticated, honestly, they're natural beings.
Yeah.
So what's beautiful about it is it really does help us find a way to find flow. You're pretty calm and peaceful and clear. I'm just reminding you of things you already know about your being, about your energy, about your leadership, about your capacity to respond, you know, versus react. The puppy's just bringing that up.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that this is like a new era for me. It's about being clear about what I want.
Yes.
Not my role as a caregiver, a nurturer, but what is it that I want and need in a quiet way, and then advocating for that. Exactly.
Now, when he understands that, and he understands what you need, and you're helping him bring out the greatness in him, because you're giving him certain boundaries when he's kind of going over the top.
Yeah, right.
You bring out the greatness in him.
Exactly.
Brings out the greatness in you. And that's how you guys like flow in your life together. And it's beautiful.
I love that. Thank
Yay!
you. Yeah.
How do you feel? How does he feel?
He's still out.
Beautiful.
He's still out, and I feel great.
I wanted to give you a little bit of feedback of what's happened in the time since we had our session with you. You know, when we first spoke, I was very unbonded with Lucci. I felt completely overwhelmed, like I was way too old for this, and that he was not the right dog for me. He was full of energy and full of rambunctiousness, and he didn't really listen all that well. Like, if I corrected him, he just bounced right back and did it again. So I was really like, this dog is too much for me. And in our session, you helped me to understand that it's all about leadership, that the mama dog doesn't worry about hurting the little dog's feelings. She just corrects him simply, sternly, strongly, and then it's done. So I took that advice to heart and found my inner goddess, my inner leader, my inner person who's entitled to get what she wants, who doesn't have to just worry all the time if I was doing it wrong or upsetting him or possibly messing him up. I just grounded into the knowledge that I deserve to get what I want and to have him understand that this was my show, not his show. And I went from being completely unbonded with him to absolutely falling head over heels in love with him. The trainer I had worked with had me doing corrections, and while they worked, they brought out a lot of his frustration. And I was being stern, but not really a leader. And it was when you taught me the technique of holding him in my arms, snugly, with his head against my shoulder, and just breathing with him until he could settle his nervous system down, that I realized what an absolute precious baby he was. And we've developed an amazing relationship. I have total optimism that he will become everything I could ever hope for in a dog. And I'm accepting him exactly as he is, which is pretty fabulous. Of course, we have room to grow. He's still only 5.5 months, but I see now how amazing he is and my role in helping to nurture him and make it clear what I do and don't want. And once I got clear, he started to follow. So it doesn't seem overwhelming at all anymore. It just seems like a journey. So thank you for everything.
Thanks for watching today's episode of Animal Healer TV. We hope you enjoyed it. We'd love to hear your feedback on what you learned about yourselves and your animals. We'd also love to hear what issues are you dealing with that you'd most like to see on the show. If you'd like to participate in an episode, please see the link below and share with us the issues that you're having with your animals. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and Insta, and please feel free to share with your friends. Join us next week for another episode of Animal Healer TV, where we will explore quantum reality and see what else is possible in helping animals and humans heal their behaviors, their health, and each other's hearts.